Welcome, Wolfpack. Welcome. 14th of December 2024. We boy Drew here on the Secret Prepper channel. You know how we do. Thank you to each and every one of you for joining us here on a Saturday night. I know there's so many other things you could be doing on a Saturday, but here you are with me. Thank you for joining us. And of course, tonight is the night. Is it the night? We're going to see, because we've got lots to get through tonight. It's been lots going on and breaking, as you saw, as the thumbnail suggests. Yes, there's been some developments. For those that weren't aware, I did a couple of shows regarding Funky Prepper. Everybody asking me where he's at. What Guam? What Guam, Drew? What Guam? So, those of you following me long enough know my critical analysis and things that we do, and my investigative team behind me helping us, rocking in the background. For the years and years and years I've been doing this, you do pick up some very talented people along the way, and they're extremely loyal to me, so I get a heads up on an awful lot of stuff in the interwebs. So today, you can see we've gone from where we were here. Yeah, did Funky Prepper just find out? Yeah, Fafo. That was where we started, right? And we were asking the question, did things make sense? Today's thumbnail, it should give you a bit of a clue as to what we got going on, right? So there's been some developments, as I say. We're going to go through it, and of course I have to appreciate those of you who are less familiar or maybe falling into this video before having seen the previous ones. This is my channel here, Secret Prepper. You'll see above me here, this was the Go to Jail one, and then there was this one, which was Have Your Say, because there's a lot of people that had comments and stuff on this one. So I did a video just so people could I could go through the comments on just both this video and another one that we'll look at again today, which is where the story originally broke, which was when Richard Vobes, this guy here had basically done a video saying that he had contact with Funky Prepper as to where he's been, and he had some stuff to say about it, and that was where it all broke, right? So we'll be covering that as we go through. Thank you to everyone joining us live in the chat. Please do share this video on your social medias if you think it's going to be something that your friends or followers are going to be interested in hearing about or want some answers to, because I know that just being a prepper channel myself, I've had so many people reach out saying, where is he? What's going on? I don't follow him. I haven't done. I'm not going to get into that again. But I know enough to know what I know. So, good evening, UK Urban Prepper in the house. Great to have you with us. Good evening. I'm waiting to see what this is all about. Aren't we all? So we're going to be banging straight into it. This is how we're going to do. I'm going to run through briefly as to what I went through on the previous two videos to catch those people up in about 5-minute job, right, is how we're going to do. I'm referring to the two videos on my channel. You can still go and watch these after this video if you want to catch up. But this is where I broke it, and then this is where I had your say, and then obviously today we're looking at some new stuff that's come to light. So let's set the scene straight away. Then thank you to everyone being us live in the chat, anonymity with us as well. We've got Funky's Barrister as well with us, which is just classic. John C, Daily Survival, moderator of all moderators. Big shout out to the Secret Prepper investigation team in the background, because this came from my guys today in the background. Within an hour of it coming out, so this is breaking stuff, and I was the first to talk about it before, so it makes sense for me to be the first to talk about it now. Tracy J in the house, great to see you all. Thank you for joining us. Kazza as well, and we've got Mr. Atom Blue, missed you over the last couple. Ronnie Rubble in the house, great to see you. Thank you everyone for joining us. Antonia as well. Do get yourself over in the live chat. We're going to be having a live poll coming up just before we go to part 2. This is how we're going to roll, rather than the full-on agenda that we'd usually do. For the Sim Prepper live show, we will do a few bits and pieces off here, but not all of them. So I'm gonna break it down for you, let you know what this breaking news is, what's come out, and I'll be getting into. We'll be doing a global threat analysis report as well. We'll be having a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about it in more depth. We'll be talking to people in the chat about what they know, and we'll be looking through some of the comments as well that people have been making around the internet about what they think is going on, and so on, right? So there's a lot to get through, and it's a Saturday night, so let's get into it. Let's just start off quickly by catching you up on where this all started, which was, of course, Funky Prepper going missing for some time. For those aren't familiar, this is what his channel looks like. This is his logo and his branding for his channel. And so he's got a big following. You can see 139,000 subscribers, right? So there's 139,000 people wondering where he is. He's specifically UK prepper. He focuses on UK and stuff. Mine's more of a global type thing here at Sigma Prepper. Cheers everyone for joining us. I really appreciate you. Please do hit the like button. It does help the video as well as sharing it on your social media. Cheers to all of you. By the way, Della, your merch official mega mug, I think, should be with you today or Monday. Love, peace and progress to the pack. Cheers everyone. Thank you for joining us. So this is Funky Prepper. He disappeared about 6 weeks ago without any trace. You can see here October the 22nd was like the last one out, I think. So coming up to 2 months ago now. And people are asking the question, where is he, where is he? And what happened was in December the 2nd, so we're talking, you know, 2 weeks ago now, 10 days, 2 weeks ago, this guy here, Richard, had essentially come out saying that he'd had contact with Funky. He was the first guy to sort of shed any alleged light on it. And this video is what originally triggered my spidey senses, which is what resulted in me then releasing this video. Did he mess around and find out, right? So this is how this video went.
As far as I know, he has somehow, and I don't know the details, he couldn't tell me too much, but he has fallen foul of, you know, the powers that be on YouTube, and he has been kicked off for a time until middle of January, he reckons. So that was the first thing. He's been kicked off YouTube until the middle of January. Now, the first point that I made on that, for those that don't know, I run a media company for many, many years, right? And I've helped a lot of YouTube channels grow to big channels, right? Now, I showed that when you look on Social Blade, which is an analysis tool you can use to go and check out someone's channel. And you can see here total subscribers. The first thing I mentioned, there was a big massive drop off of like 1,000+ subscribers all of a sudden. And I also showed on the full monthly statistics on Funky Prepper's channel, you can see here there was no videos removed around this time leading up to this time. There was these 1,000 subscribers that came off in April. There was a like minus 10,000 video views here in June, which means that he's removed videos of which there were 10,000 views associated with, or a video probably. But other than that, nothing else removed, and everything else has been growing steadily. And I furthered that by looking at the YouTube monetization tool, which again, if you know where to look, you can put a channel in here to tell you if it's monetized or not. And it says the channel Funky Prepper is monetized, yeah? This channel is perceived as original, good, 100%. Ads are active, 100%, and there are no restrictions. So when this guy came out with this, I instantly went and did what you just saw me do right there and thought, no, that's not adding up, because if he was banned, it would be banned. It's not. There's only two versions of being banned, essentially, for those that don't know, right? You're either, you can see here, right, this is a thing I did for Perplexity AI, so just for people who don't believe me, even though I know what I'm talking about. What I was saying is it wasn't a copyright strike that he would be guilty of, it would be a community guideline strike from YouTube, and this is the policy, it's quite clear. First strike is a warning, second strike you get a one week restriction on uploading. Right? Not 3 months or whatever, live streaming and other features. So that was the first thing. The only other thing is if it's complete channel termination. And of course, channel termination wouldn't be the case. Otherwise, you wouldn't see his videos here and they wouldn't all play and there wouldn't be ads running. And so with this first statement to me, it said to me, spidey senses, this is why we're here, right? The whole point of what I do for people is to unwrap stuff and be critical thinking about things and you know, connect the right dots that are even existing, right? And this dot here seemed like a spidey sense dot because it don't make sense. No, he hasn't been banned off YouTube. YouTube channel's fine. That's what's happened to him. But he was reading that some people thought he was dead and some people... And he said the problem is that he's unable to get online at the moment. He's not got a phone and he's had to borrow...
For those that have studied body language, psychology and stuff, that gulp before... then is a dead giveaway as well without being you know what, because the other thing as well I made mention of is the fact that his channel here, when you look at the other links here with things like the Instagram and the Twitter, you'll see that there's no posts been put on here either over that same time period, the last 6 months here on x.com, as well as the same situation back in November, right? September in fact. And so it's quite clear to me that that's not an excuse, is it? I mean, if you've been banned off YouTube, why not put posts out on X? Why not do it on on Twitter, on Instagram and so on, which wasn't happening. So quite clearly there was something else going on here. And so what I was asserting in this video that I did that's on my channel, did Funky Prepper just find out, right? based on a bunch of things, right? Because I've had people send me videos of his before saying this guy's copying me just without getting into it. A lot of people saying, you know, when I first came out and after having another channel before that was quite a sizable channel, and I'm now here, right? Starting again, if you know what I mean. But I had a lot of people saying, oh, this dude's obviously found your channel, Drew, because he's like all coming out with the same phrases as you now, and he never was before, and he's titling his videos the same as you. And I knew of him anyway because I tried to set him straight on some disinformation he was giving on one of his videos that was sort of like deadly stuff. And he just removed my comment completely from the comments and then shadow ban me or ban me whatever from his channel. So I kind of knew what I needed to know about him at that point. So that was basically the way it went, right? And I was like, this isn't making sense. What would make more sense, as I asserted at the time, was that based on what I know about UK law, with they getting a bit leery, right, is when you look at his videos, it was more likely that he was being arrested for incitement or hate speech, right? And so this was the question to catch those of you up who didn't see what I did before with the analysis. This was the prompt that I gave the AI, yeah? If someone was arrested in the UK under the hate speech or incitement laws, etc., what would be the typical process? I'm curious, as there is a content creator in the UK who has gone missing from all social media platforms and claims it is due to a YouTube ban, but that wouldn't explain being completely silent on all other platforms too. Could this be a resulting bail condition that would restrict this creator from uploading or having access to social media? So I did this kind of live, like the first time round, to say this is more likely what it is. And sure enough, if someone was arrested in the UK under hate speech or incitement laws, the typical process would involve arrest and interview by the police. If charged, the case would be referred to Crown Prosecution Service. The Crown Prosecution Service would decide whether to prosecute. If prosecuted, the case would go to court. Now, I was thinking when he said, oh, you know, I'll be back online like middle of January, I was thinking when he's probably thinking he's got a court case then and he's going to get all his stuff back. Because as part of the bail conditions, they seize all your stuff, right? Because apparently his wife hadn't been online either. I didn't even know he had a wife. That's how much I knew about him, because he's at the complete opposite sort of type channel to what I am, right? But apparently his wife hadn't been on social media either, which made sense to me under this basis, because all devices are seized from all the family members, right? And so that would explain why I hadn't been able to do any social media. And even if he had, that's part of the bail conditions. Look, regarding bail conditions, it is possible that a content creator could be restricted from using social media as part of their bail terms. Courts have the power to impose conditions on bail, which could include restrictions on internet use or social media access. And so that was essentially what I was proposing at the time, was more likely if you just think critically about it. And the reason that I gave for why I felt that was most likely the case is because all you got to do is look at the types of content that this guy's got on his channel. And it's all talking about immigration, which is the most sensitive thing you can talk about. There's a massive disproportion of his contents to do with like bladed items and trying to be some sort of I don't know, some sort of commando. And when you combined commando with talking about immigration all the time, and as I mentioned as well, which people tried to push back on me, saying that's got nothing to do with it, when I was saying it's not a good look when you're doing videos about immigration and you're getting all leery about it, and you've got a Don't Tread on Me flag on one side and the Union Jack on the other, right? And people were saying to me, oh, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, no, not on their own, no. Right, but you got to look at it through the eyes of the intelligence services, is what I was saying to people. And because you've got 139,000 subscribers, it means you are an influencer, whether you like it or not. And as I mentioned before, there's a small percentage of people that are a little bit, so you need to be careful, right? Because these people are going to take stuff you say literally, and you're going to be it's going to be classified as incitement. So how is it? And people pushed back and said I didn't know what I was talking about, and all this. And I'm a fake prepper, and I'm a shill, and I'm the old Bill, and I'm an agent, or I work for MI5, or I must work for MI6. It's like, I've had every single thing. And then when I did a thing to have your say with all the comments, all the funky prepper lovers came in, and I was getting death threats, and they were threatening to snatch the throat of my dog. These are the sorts of people that came out of the woodwork defending him. And I'm thinking this is kind of confirming itself to itself, because he's already turned these guys into extremists because they're willing to kill me just because I'm saying I think it's unlikely that it's actually a YouTube ban, as the evidence I've just shown you now in like 30 seconds. The plot thickens. Because check it out, this dude here, one of my research team came to me and said, Drew, you've got to check this dude out. Look, Archaics, right? He's done a video, not on YouTube. This is why you won't find it. You've got an hour to look, how to look and where to look. So this dude's done a video now, today. You can see here, look, 14th of December. You know, I like to bring it to you, although I brought this to you like 2 weeks ago with my prediction. Oh, God. Anyway, because it's just so predictable. Check it out. This is what this guy's saying about having direct communication, apparently, with Funky Prepper.
England passed that new law. And they're taking it seriously. It's not just Twitter posts and Facebook posts. It's real, guys. He posted about the migrants on YouTube. And the authorities came to his house and arrested him, confiscated his phone, laptop, home computer, notes he had on videos, all that kind of stuff like that, and he went to jail. That's why Funky Prepper disappeared for a few weeks.
So basically what this guy's now saying is exactly what I said 2 weeks ago is what I thought was most likely the case, and here we are today, sure enough. Now this isn't him just making this up, this is... Well, you'll hear.
The reason he's staying disappeared is because he's now on bond. They're prosecuting him. He's out. But he's under a bond, and now...
Now, in America, a bond is what in the UK we could call bail, right? And with bond conditions, bail conditions, there's things you're not allowed to do. You know, sometimes it can be you're not allowed to go near someone or communicate with someone if it's like an assault case or something like this, right? Or in this case... the bail or bond conditions can mean you're not allowed any access to social media or devices or making posts or being on other people's videos and so on, right?
They have prohibited him from engaging in social media. He's not allowed to post on his YouTube channel. He's not allowed to even be a guest on another person's channel. This is what's going on in England right now, guys. This shit's real. I know you've seen the reports. I know a lot of people think it's just hyperbole and bullshit, but we know Funky Prepper. I got an email from Darren. He told me the whole thing. He's asking for help. I'm going to send you some help.
So you hear that bit, right? I got an email from Darren. Darren's Funky Prepper's name. First name, real name. So he got an email from him. So this isn't just like making it up. This is lich. Lich. With gang signs, right? Legit.
I put his PayPal right here in the description box.
And yet again, the first thing that he's asking for people is donations. It was exactly the same situation with Matey Boy here.
A phone in order to contact me, but the problem is...
He borrowed a phone to contact this guy, apparently. He must have borrowed a phone to send an email to the other guy, yeah?
Do this, you're relying on money
more,
and so you...
And this one, again, was the same thing, asking for donations, right? And when my research team looked into this guy, he's been in prison for 27 years. And this is a guy who's got direct communication with, this is like an ex-con, right? I think he went down for kidnapping or something, 27 years, man. And so it just strikes me as a little bit coincidental that these people seem to attract these people. Now, no offense against this guy, because I've got no idea who he is. It's just I get sent stuff by the Sigma Prepper open source investigation research team, and I just go with it, right? So I don't know who this dude is, but it's quite clear what he's saying is essentially exactly what I was asserting 2 weeks ago that was most likely in this video, just on the basis of Matey Boy Richard, which is this guy here's video, didn't make any sense because no, he's not banned off YouTube. I showed that with a social blade. No, it's not a copyright strike, otherwise you would see videos removed. Right, and no, he's not losing money on YouTube because on the YouTube monetization checker tool, which is free to use, yeah, he is monetized, yeah, and his ads are active. So he's still going to be getting paid from YouTube, from Google, on the 23rd of each month. Right, this channel has only been monetized 2 days. Right. Thank you so much to everybody who, last night was it on the show last night we had a campfire catch up, just chilling out, talking about a week's events, and got into some prepping and survival talk and survival gear stuff, which was brilliant. So thank you to everyone who joined me for that. But you get the picture, right? So this is proper, this is from the horse's mouth now. Now if you remember, if I refer you to the Sigma Prepper Discord server. The link's in description. It's a great community of preppers and people interested in survival. And joining the wolf pack is completely free. Come and join us over there. But I do these live polls, right? And I asked the question, what do you think's happened to if I can even find it, going back several weeks now. But oh no, not even that one as well. Is it back further? I didn't think it was back much further than that. Yes, it is. Right, so I was asking a question, right? What do you think's happened to Funky Prepper? This was the first poll I did, right? So what do you think has happened to Funky Prepper? Kicking it in the Caribbean, personal/health issues, arrested by the Popo on bail, or banned from YouTube as claimed, because that was at the time what was being claimed, right? And then I ran that same one after doing the Have Your Say again later, right? And I explained that the reason I came to that conclusion was because if you understand the climate in the UK right now, the political climate, particularly when it comes to sensitive topics around immigration and stuff, and when you're a big channel and you've got a big following, and when that following tends to be people who are of a certain end of the scale, and when you combine that with the new reality we're living in here in the UK, which, as I showed before, is kind of this.
Where are the armed men who come in to take the protesters away? Where are they? This kind of behavior is never tolerated in Boracua. You shout like that, they put you in jail right away. No trial, no nothing. Journalists, we have a special jail for journalists. You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses.
This is the UK right now.
You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail, right away. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
So this is the kind of mess that we're in here in the UK. So you've got to be aware, and part of being a good prepper and part of staying alive and surviving is surviving the political as well as surviving the physical, right? You got to think ahead, man. You got to understand the environment you're in, and you got to understand how to flow. As I mentioned before, there's more than just one survival instinct, right? You got fight as well as just fight. Yeah, you got fawn, you got freeze. Yeah, you got flight. And ultimately, you've got flow, which is where you're able to just adapt and survive and adapt. And there's some things you can change and there's some things you can't, right? And to me, it was super clear. I called it without being, but I'm just saying, I talked about this 8 months ago with my friends, saying specifically Funky Prepper, when someone sent me one of his videos, that he was going to come unstuck because he's like, mate, he makes me cringe listening and watching his videos. And I did mention about how it was so in stark contrast from what I wanted to be the representative of what represents preppers. Is not this crazy sort of like, you know, just even having things like all the daggers and stuff in your logo. It's like this focus on being a commando and knives and blades and immigration and don't tread on me flags and things like that. Yeah, I mean, let me just to be clear, right, because it's only fair, this was the video I did originally, yeah. And the first comment on here, look, right, this one here, this was summarized my view on it, right? And for those who didn't see it, I'll read it now because it's important that we understand what my point was, because so many people were like, oh, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with the Union Jack. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I'd like to reiterate my intention behind this video discussing this creator being absent from the internet over the last month or so. While it was claimed that this absence is due to a ban from YouTube, my live analysis of YouTube's policy, social blade analytics, and his channel's monetization status using the monetization tracker, as shown in this video, clearly suggests otherwise. Combine this with the complete silence across all of his social media, in my opinion, points more towards legal issues such as an arrest under the UK's strict hate speech and incitement laws. As highlighted in my analysis, this individual's use of symbolic imagery like the Gadsden flag, the Union Jack, and even the logo featuring a hunting knife alongside frequent content with bladed items and weapons presents a stereotypical and caricature-like image of what a survivalist or prepper looks like. This portrayal not only threatens our industry's reputation, but also brings undue scrutiny to all creators in this space. When people say, what's he got to do with you? That's what it's got to do with me. To be clear to my global audience, because I don't specialise in the UK, I've lived in lots of different countries around the world, right? So I have more of a global view of stuff. In the UK, discussing sensitive topics like immigration, especially in a negative light, can already draw attention from the authorities due to the potential for inciting hatred or violence. When such commentary is coupled with symbolic imagery like the Gadsden flag and the Union Jack, it rightfully raises red flags for security and intelligence services. I told you, it made me cringe. Only because I can understand that with 139,000 people following you, there's going to be 1,390 probably who are going to do something that they think you're saying to do. Yeah? Authorities will likely have perceived the combination of these flags in the backdrop of the anti-immigration rhetoric, as indicative of extremist views or potential radicalization. This context is crucial. While displaying these flags alone isn't illegal or necessarily problematic, which is the point I was making, right? Their use in certain narrative can amplify concerns for security services. It's just anyone who knows. It's just obvious, man. Come on, you shouldn't have to explain it. They might view the individual as someone who could inspire or incite others to action, especially if the rhetoric crosses into the hate speech or incitement territory. Remember, this content creator has more than 139,000 subscribers that could be influenced by his social media content. Yeah, it's essential for content creators to understand the weight of their words and the imagery they use, because this is me trying to protect other content creators out there to not be stupid, yeah? The combination of certain symbols and themes can be perceived as red flags by authorities, potentially leading to serious consequences, like we're seeing now. As influencers, we must tread carefully and be mindful of the impact of our content may have. Now, this is the most important bit to me. And this is why it makes me cringe when I used to get people sending me his videos going, you've got to check this dude out, he's crazy, man. Sigma Prepper stands for values that are polar opposite of what this individual represents. Our brand is about community, love, legality, honesty, and decency. We bring people together rather than divide, and we prioritize intelligent, strategic preparedness. I will continue to distance my brand from such negative stereotypes and clarify that this individual is not representative of our community, despite his seemingly large following. Thank you again to all those that were able to join me live in the chat and blah, 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 blah. Right? So I thought that I laid it out really clearly in that and in the video there, but apparently me saying that and me delivering that to help other people not fall foul, because that's part of being a good prepper, I get death threats from the Funky fans. My dog gets death threats from the Funky fans, and then on my 1,000 subscriber party, we get a load of trolls in there making more threats. And it was so funny because they're just showing themselves to be who they are, and it's just like, wow. So it was incredible to see that it's like you could suggest that these people have already been radicalized by him, or they're just the sorts of people that are attracted to that sort of content, which is even more worrying when you've got 139,000 of them. Yeah. You look at the wolf pack here and the family that we've got here on just, the Discord server, the sort of people that are just flooding the space with knowledge, and this is a knowledge base it's become, with everybody contributing, with whether it's to do with purifying water, storing water, food storage, food growing, yeah, cooking tips, health and medicine. There's nothing in here to do with how to prepare for immigration, because it's not a threat that you need to be talking about for preparedness. And I made the same point on my, on the sigmaprepper.com website, right? On the SHTF Intel page, where I lay out all the main threats that are likely to get you. Again, there's nothing on here. None of these are immigration, the things to prepare for. So when you consume 90% of your content moaning about it, right? And now, as it turns out, right? Oh, look at Funky's Barrister. Thank you so much. Doggy treat for Hugo. Thank you, my man. I really appreciate you. And what a classic name as well, Funky's Barrister. Look, what an absolute genius, man. And so I was trying my best to be as fair as I could with the whole topic, because it's a difficult one already because I'm in this space, and it's a difficult one already because my channel is so polar opposite from what he talks about, because the whole point of me building Sigma Prepper as a brand was to connect with people who are normal, whether they're like, I always say normal, but, whether it's a single lone woman or a family of 5, right? Or just working people with professional career people who, aren't into the camo jacket and the chewing tobacco look. That's where I fit in, right? We're talking about intelligent, strategic preparedness, rather than like going on and on and on about, fear, panic. It's the complete opposite for what we represent here, right? We're all about decent, even when we're doing stuff like the, even the Warzone Wednesdays, which have been going brilliantly. I've linked the most recent one up in the description of this video. Please catch up with the Warzone Wednesday if you haven't. We're talking all about warfare tactics. This week, we're talking about drone warfare tactics. With everything that's going on at the moment out there, then it's definitely worth checking out, right? I mean, you can see there's so much to talk about with preparedness. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier on, one of the research team for Sigma Prepper investigators, and I was saying to her, it's just like when you think about all that stuff that you really see in the main considerable amount of content on Funky Prepper's channels, all just moaning about what's going on with immigration and things like this and political stuff. But really, and on all the videos to do with knives and fighting and all this other stuff, you're talking really, and all the camo stuff and bugging out, that's just bugging out. That makes up about 10% of the whole problem of surviving a crisis. If the grid goes down, if there's like some natural disaster or something like that, yeah, whatever it might be. There's bugging out into the woods and being able to do hand-to-hand combat and like fight bears and stuff like that is like 10% of all the problems you've got to solve. It's not the most likely thing you're aiming to homestead or bug in first and foremost. And you know what? It brings me to this concept that I come up with the other day just randomly and I was talking about The Purge, right? Everyone's seen the movie The Purge, and essentially, for those that haven't, to give you a quick overview, The Purge is like one day a year. Is it a year? You'll let me know live in the chat if I'm completely wrong. But once a year, people can go out and just go crazy, and there's no laws, and you can just, do whatever you want to do, people. And if you don't want to be a part of that, then you can just lock yourself inside and you can stay out of it, right? And you can stay out of the mix. But if you want to get out there and do what you want to do, then you choose to go out there, right? So in the preparedness survival analogy for me, right, Sigma Prepper as an example, there's a yin and the yang on it, right? Because I think that there's 2 types of preppers out there. There's the people like me who are all about getting the best shutters, getting the most comfy situations, so when the purge is going on outside, you're all cozy, you're all security, you've got your CCTV cameras, you've got your, your special static electrocharge, electric shutters, even if they try and get in, it's going, right? It's all bulletproof stuff. Inside, you've totally got air purification units, you've got power backups and stuff. That's what we specialize in. But it seems like the other half, there's these people who, when they visualize the purge, when they think about the purge, what they're imagining is being outside during the purge rather than inside during the purge. Are you with me? So I think there's 2 psychologies. There's the one that's all about the commando. Yeah, let's get it, man. I want to have a fight and use all my swords and all my tools. I can't wait for the purge because I'm going to be out there rampaging around with my quad bike and a jung gun on it. You got those preppers, and then you got us type preppers who are like, when we visualize the purge, we visualize being indoors with our loved ones, with all the lights on, having a lovely meal, watching some entertainment, right? Surfing the internet on the Sigma Prepper ultimate hotspot offline internet and emergency system that I developed for just that. Do you know what I mean? That's how I imagine the purge. Let me know if you understand what I'm getting at in terms of the yin and the yang of that when using the purge movie. I think there's those that imagine it, yeah, we're going to be out there, dun 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 dun, we're going to be, and there's the other people who imagine that, be like, nah, I'm going to have the most secure, like, cool place, survival den kind of bunker thing. Do you know what I mean? There's these two different, what's it? Thank you so very much. Check it out, the green Manalishi. Am I saying that right? The Green Manalishi. Thank you so very much. Game over. Classic. It's how we're rocking. Man, so I've been not really catching up with the chat, so thank you so much. So again, Sigma, your cast, they're on the same light. No, not entirely. No, everyone's completely unique. Thank you so much again, Funky's Barrister. Let me give you a like and a love on that. This is just to say that what I was putting forward a couple of weeks ago about what I thought was most likely the case after seeing this Matey Boy's video was that he had in fact been arrested, and the reason he wasn't on social media anywhere is because it was part of his bail conditions. Fast forward 2 weeks, and what do we end up with? Matey Boy here coming out and saying he had an email from Funky Prepper saying exactly that. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. The next question to be asking yourself then is, why has he lied? Why has this guy pretended that he got banned off YouTube knowing that he didn't? When the real case of the matter is the reason he's not online is because he was arrested. Now I think I know why he hasn't told the truth. I think I know why now he's coming out through this guy saying I need money because I got arrested. Yeah. Funky was indeed Fiona'd. Exactly, Sandy. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with me. I do appreciate you all. Do you know what, Yorkshire Pud, though? I kind of expected it. It was so funny because I predicted it before the show to my moderators. I said, you know, if we get a load of Funky lovers in here giving it the large one, then just leave them to say what they need to say. Because the more we allow them to show who they are, the more I can prove my point as to why they want to take him down in the first place, because that's who he's creating. Yeah, that's what divisive talk attracts. When you're divisive about stuff, you attract divisive people. Yeah, when you get angry about topics like that, you're going to attract other people who are angry about that topic. You don't have to be a genius to work that out. Right? So if I can figure that out, I'm pretty sure the intelligence services can figure it out for themselves as well. Pretty sure they're pretty well trained in that shit. I think they can understand what variables all add together to show that someone's quite likely to be producing some little minions that are going to go off and do some crazy shit. And when they ask, why did you do the crazy shit? Well, they're going to say, oh, well, I was watching this, like, Funky Prepper guy on YouTube, and he was just, like, getting me really angry about everything. And, you know, he was teaching me how to use a knife and things. It's like, fucking, can't you see that shit coming? Why is it I'm the crazy one? Yeah, this is what I don't get. And even now, when, sure enough, exactly what I said is most likely becomes evidenced by this guy saying that he got an email from him. And you'll notice that this guy hasn't done any videos on his YouTube channel, but what he has done is he put a post on here. Look, Funky Prepper arrested for a YouTube video on the migrant violence in the UK. And when you look through the comments of here, which we'll do when we come back in part 2, along with other stuff we've got lined up as well, we'll talk about it and see what you've got to say about it. We're going through all your comments to see how you feel about it, right? And so what I think we'll do, just for laughs, because, you know, we're going to be, we got a lot coming up in part 2. We haven't really necessarily, I wouldn't say we haven't started yet, but we do need to get some other bits we're going to be talking about. So what we're going to do in the meantime, or what you're going to be doing, as well as hitting the like button, if you haven't done already, I really would appreciate it. I appreciate it's Saturday night and everybody would rather be doing something more important instead, but to this, a lot of people think is important. I think it's important because to me, truth is important, accuracy is important, and understanding is more important than all. And so the more truth, accuracy and understanding that we can get, and whether that's from me or a combination of me and other people, then that's what I'm here to do. So what we're doing then is we're going to be starting the poll again. The live poll is now up, and we are going to be doing the version 3 of the Funky Prepper What Do You Think Happened to Him poll, to see how it's changed this time to see if this is enough for people to agree with me now. Oh dear. So we're gonna pop that onto the Discord community server here. What am I doing? Not health and medicine. We want that to be in. This is the Discord server for Sigma Prepper. Took a long time building this, and so many people have contributed to this becoming such a great knowledge base. Down here you can see the prep and intel, and all of this sectioned and categorized. Whatever you need help with, or whatever you're an expert in, go there. So let's just pop this in there. So 2 nights, and please vote right now. Tonight's poll in brackets V3, because this is the third and final version, to see how it changed from the first 2, which is going to be interesting. So this is it then. What do you think happened to Spunky Prepper? Kicking it in the Caribbean? Do you still think he's kicking it in the Caribbean? Do you still think it's personal health issues? Do you now think he's arrested by police on no bail? Or do you still think he's banned from YouTube? So that's live in the chat now for you to go and vote on. So please do. Looks like we've had like 36 in there already. So thank you, everyone. Terry Parkinson in the house. Great to see you. Welcome aboard. I don't remember ever saying hello to Miss Worm, but hello, Miss Worm. Oh dear. So Emma, lovely to see you, Anna. I love a good poll. Ooh, Mrs. We got poles and wood here, girlfriend. Love, peace, and progress to the pack. Thank you for joining me. We are breaking it down tonight. It's been a funny old week of action. I'm hoping that I'm going to have far fewer people asking me the question, where is Funky Prepper? Just visiting. Amazing. Amazing. Let's have a look. Who else am I missing? AI Retro Handheld. Anyone followers could be considered the same. There's a lot of unhinged people out there these days, unfortunately. Yeah, the problem is Al's Retro Handhelds, and thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate you there contributing, right? I totally agree. Normal people also followed him, but what you got to understand is that like attracts like. If you were to round all of the people that follow Sigma Prepper up, right, and you'll find there's a massive, massive difference between those people. Do you know what I mean? Like we do, anyway, we're not going to. It's just different, man. It's just different. It's a different vibe, you know? This is about love and caring and bringing people together, knowledge and education, so that there's a million ways of surviving the apocalypse. And not just surviving with yourself intact, but surviving with your morals intact. Surviving with your integrity intact. Yeah? Surviving with your criminal record intact. Come on. You got to be intelligent about it. You can't just be like some Rambo and then be like, oh no, it's all right, because it's just like doesn't count because it's like if it's the apocalypse. No, everything counts, man. Everything counts. Brett Atkinson in the house. Spot on regarding Funky, Barch is awesome. Check him out. Yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar with the guy. I mean, all I can see is people talking about all sorts of nasty stuff about him when my research team looked into him for me. And, you know, talking about his 27-year prison sentence for kidnapping and other things he's been done for. And, you know, again, just these two, obviously Funky and him. And there's other, 4 other ex-cons that Funky Prepper seems to talk to regularly. So it just seems a bit weird that, like, all the people you talk to have got criminal records. Again, do you know what I mean? Like attracts like. Now, I'm not for 1 second suggesting... Sorry, who was it? Al Retro's handheld, because he said, oh, not everybody. Anyone's followers could be considered the same, da-da-da. Yes, of course, Al Retro's. That is the difference, is that I treat people as individuals, right? And so everybody's different. But my point is that on the whole, because I'm not suggesting that would mean that you must have a criminal record as well because you're attracted to someone like him. I'm just saying, like attracts like generally. We're generalizing here. And you know, remember what they say about those who can't generalize have sub-room temperature IQ, so please don't be one of them. I think it's unlikely. If you understand what generalizing is, it makes things much easier. So that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. You see, Crosshatch here is saying Arcac's dodgy to say the least, and my research team came back with I've got screenshots of some of the most worst things I could ever think that someone could have said about them. So I don't need to follow people like that, to be honest, with all due respect. I'm too busy making videos for my followers to be watching other people's videos, with all due respect. I've got a book I'm trying to finish writing as well, The Ultimate Guide to Prepping, which I've been working on for years. It was supposed to be out ages ago. Oh, dear. Just served a sentence recently, just got out. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. What's this, a coincidence? I'm sorry, but when I call something, I usually am 99% sure before I even do a video about it, let alone talk to people about it. So when I did that video ages ago saying, no, I don't think he's been banned off YouTube. In fact, I know he hasn't been banned off YouTube because that's the business I'm in. He's more than likely this. And then everyone started, all the Funky Prepper fans started threatening me with death threats, and my dog with death threats as well on the basis of that. I was like, wow, this is getting interesting. Who are these people? Fuck me. Anyway, so we're going to be going for a short break. Don't go anywhere because we've got so much coming up. It's not even funny. I've been babbling through. I hope we've at least rounded off what we're chatting about. We've got loads when we come back as well. So please don't go anywhere. But in the meantime, I really got to get myself a rebrew. So we can get into the part 2. It's bang on time as well. We've been going around about 50 minutes so far. So we're going to be having ourselves a quick cup of tea since we've got a good number of people with us. We'll do a global threat analysis when we come back after the break and other things as well. So definitely don't miss that. In the meantime, don't go anywhere. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Get yourself a brew. See you in 5. Love, peace and progress to everybody, and cheers. Welcome back to part 2. We got there in the end. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much to all of our super chatterers. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you to everyone who's hit the like button. Is that my beautiful Cynthia Guaranotta? I think it is. Great to see you, my darling. Great to see you. Do you know, also, I did find that, let's have a look. I was just looking because people were saying about this guy that we were looking at, who I wasn't familiar with, this Archaics guy, right? And I was saying that all I knew about him is he had done time for like 27 years or something like that. Yeah. And so that's kind of what I know about him. And when you look into him, I did have one of my research teams send me his file, right? I can't even really show you it, to be honest. To give you a clue, right? Because it's public, it's on the internet, right? Here's Texas Penal Code, right? Victim, female. Let's just say, right? Victim age was 19, shall we just say? Did 27 years in prison, shall we just say? Right, I'm just going to let you guess the rest, because if I can't even show you the words that's on the thing, right? So that I have to judge people on what, the fact that he's, anyway, I shouldn't have to explain it. You know, it froze on a blue steel pose. Is that good or bad, Emma? Was it a really bad look, was it? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm stuck in a loop here, says Miss Worm. Oh, man. Sorry, let's skip down because there's everyone's just getting back in there now the stream's gone. We've got back up and running again. I do apologise for that. Oh, not that I did anything. I think it is just I've got so much stuff running here because we've got a lot to get through, and that was the plan. So let's get through it now. Let's do what we came here to do. Let's set the tone first with the Sigma quotes. So thank you to those that have sent in the quotes over on the Discord server. The Sigma Prepper Discord server. Go join it. Yes, indeed. Are you a Sigma type? Yeah. We're not like alphas. We're not like betas. We don't like being bossed around. We don't like bossing people around. We don't need to. Yeah. We're all about self-reliance, independence, yeah. Skill set building, knowledge building. Because we know that no one else is coming to our rescue. It's up to us. to be the masters of our destiny. That's what makes Sigma Sigmas. So, you have to excuse this black line here. It's because it's just rebooted itself. I don't know what's going on. But anyway. So this is one of my own quotes from my book, The Ultimate Prepping Guide by Sigma Prepper. True resilience is the art of thriving in the face of the unknown. True resilience is the art of thriving in the face of the unknown. Right? Check out Chris Connell. Just subscribe. Welcome, Chris. Thank you for joining. You will have to put notifications, bell notifications to all, because YouTube does have an accidental habit of longing you off the back end when you're not looking, if you know what I mean. Right? So you'll never ever see me again if you don't subscribe and you don't hit the thingy-bobs again. Next up is from Daily Survival. Thank you to you for submitting this over on Discord server. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future. From Seneca. Great one from Seneca. Thank you, Daily Survival, for sending that one. And I'll tell you what, it does remind me of that quote. No amount of regret can change the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. Right? And the present is the only thing that you've got right now. And when you look at animals rocking about, they're just living totally in the present. They ain't worrying about their mortgage payment next month. They ain't worrying about any of that business. Right? They ain't worrying about life insurance plans. Yeah? They ain't worrying about pensions. They're just doing their thing. Everything that animals need, they've got with them. With their hoofs. Or their wings, or their fur, right? Beautiful. That's why we all love animals here on the Sigma Prepper channel. Osprey Tom, first one I've seen from you, Osprey Tom, over in the Discord server. It's free to join everyone as well. Links in description below. It took a long time building it, and everyone else has flooded it with such great information. It's just unmissable. Get yourself in there. Great one, Osprey Tom. Like this one. Flow with whatever may happen, and let your mind be free. Stay centered by accepting whatever you are doing. This is the ultimate. Brilliant, like it. Zhuangzi. Flow with whatever may happen and let your mind be free. Stay centered by accepting whatever you are doing. This is the ultimate. And again, it's so important that you're in a position to be able to flow with what you need to do. This was the point I was making the other week with Funky Prepper. It's like, you know, if you don't like what's going on with immigration, then that's a rock in the middle of the stream. You can either choose to bash your head on that rock on a daily basis, and that's not going to move the rock. It's not going to get out of the way. It's not going to change it. Or you can find a way to flow around it. If that means leaving the country to go somewhere else, if that means, like, I don't know. But there's some things that are just a rock in the way, and there's no point attacking it. Attack isn't the only form of defense, right? Just a heads up. So thank you to those that sent in the the quotes to the Sigma Mindset. Over on the Discord server. It's completely free to join, as I said. This is the room you're looking for, the Sigma quotes with the brain icon. So thank you to those that submitted their quotes. Awesome, thank you. Back to the cafe, where we can chill out and relax an ickle bit. Thank you again to Chris. Thank you to our super chatterers tonight, Robert, McNamara, and Funky's Barrister. Classic. What an absolute great bunch you are. Thank you for being with us. I do appreciate you all. Flat Cap Gaming's in the house. Kind of Telder Boy. Yeah. Richard Cooper, great to see you with us tonight. Thank you for joining us. Amphir as well. Great to see you. Yeah, nice one, Amphir. Yeah. Never borrow trouble from tomorrow. Like it. Get yourself over there, Miss Worm. Come on, you don't need to be giving me your quotes now, girlfriend. Get yourself over to here, look. Yeah. Main hangout. Right? Jay, welcome to Jay. S. Kelly. Skelly. Joining us. Let's give you some Wolfpack love. So get down here into the Sigma quotes. Look, this is a room you want. Add your favourite quotes in there, and I go through them, we pull them out, and day by day, live show by live show, we share some people's favourite quotes, and sometimes they're super relevant for what's going on in the world at the time, and the mindset we need to have to keep us going. I learned how resilient I was during the last 4 years. Really surprised myself. Yeah, lovely to hear, Emma. First time viewer, full of hope. I'm full of hope that you'll come back again, my darling. Yeah? So, thank you for joining us. I do appreciate you. I'm not sure what you've seen and what you haven't, but I did just give a rundown on basically what's been going on today, Saturday, 14th of December. I did these videos here about Funky Prepper going missing. Everyone kept asking me, and then there was a guy called Richard who essentially did a video talking about exactly that, and he said that he'd spoken to him on the phone because Funky Prepper borrowed a phone, told him that he got banned from YouTube, and we figured out that wasn't it several weeks ago. And then today we've got this guy here coming out saying he received an email from Funky Prepper saying that basically what I said 2 weeks ago is indeed exactly what has happened. So just to refresh, this is what we talked about in part 1.
England passed that new law. They're taking it seriously. It's not just Twitter posts and Facebook posts. It's real, guys. He posted about the migrants on YouTube, and the authorities came to his house and arrested him. Confiscated his phone, laptop, home computer, notes he had on videos, all that kind of stuff like that, and he went to jail. That's why Funky Prepper disappeared for a few weeks. The reason he's staying disappeared is because he's now on bond. They're prosecuting him. He's out. But he's under a bond, and now they have prohibited him from engaging in social media.
So this is basically exactly what I said 2 weeks ago in the video that you'll see on my channel, right? If you want to watch it, you can, and catch up on what my position was on it, and what I thought about Funky and why, and what I thought had happened to him and why. And it turns out that yes, indeed, this is indeed what's happened. Now, I haven't refreshed this page, but now it has, because I've just had to reboot my system because I had a full system crash. It's probably the Funky fans. But basically, this was a post that he'd put on. This is this RKX guy. Now, it's interesting that he's got a big YouTube channel with a big following, this guy, right? But yet he puts this video on this player thing where he's got like 2,000. It's only had 2,000 views. He's only got like 2,000 followers over there. But yet his YouTube channel, he's got like epic levels of followers. From what I could work out. Should we punch open his channel? Look. See, he's got 167,000 subscribers, right? This dude. Yeah. And so what he's done is he's put it as a post. Here. This is what I've got. This is what I've got pumped open here, look. Right? And so you can see the sorts of things that people are saying. That's some straight totalitarian monarchy type stuff right there. Absolutely insane, right? There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Shame he's had a good run. He'll be back, I'm sure. Now, he was saying January the 15th, and I was saying to people a couple of weeks ago that when he said January 15th, because you don't get banned for 3 months on YouTube, it's either a 1 week ban or totally gone. There's nothing really in between. That's the UK for you. You look. But there was a one down here. It's this one here, look. So this... What is it? Pamela Swan? This Pamela Swan here. Let me just zoom in a little bit for you so you can see what gone. So this Pamela Swan said, I just received an email from Funky Prepper and he is about to lose his house. Funky's channel was his only means of income. He also had a back injury. Jason, can I drop his PayPal link? He is in desperate need of help at this time. Aaron's United World. I'll be dropping his PayPal link. Pam Swan's. So lots of people here. Really bad news about Darren. Every little bit will help. I sent a little donation too. So man, he's got to be raking it in. He's got to be raking it in, right? Now, the question you've got to ask yourself is, why did he lie? Why did he tell? Now, this is why I think, sorry, let me just say, this is why I think Matey Boy has done this video on this channel rather than YouTube, because Funky Prepper's already given the story to this guy to tell people that he got banned from YouTube, which we now know was a lie, right? So the question is, why did he lie? Why did he try and convince people that he just got banned from YouTube, and now he's having to come out through this guy and admit, in fact, he's been arrested, and he had been arrested all along. You know what I mean? So the question is, why did he lie? Now, I told people in the after party, we have after parties on the Discord server, right? Where we can chat about stuff, about the show, what we've done, and talk about the show. So again, it's free to join. You see this public after party. Usually the after party, this is voice, so we can all talk voice with different people and that. It's usually a VIP only thing, only for Patreon members and that, yeah, supporting the channel, or YouTube members. But for up until Christmas, we're doing it as public, right, after party, and we'll be here after tonight's show, right? So get in there after the show and we can talk about stuff. But when we were in there after the show of the one I did talking about him getting arrested is what I thought was more likely, and I showed the evidence for that. Oh, look at that, full of hope. What a superstar. Foldable sheets. 10 foldable sheets. Thank you so much. Wow, I'm loving this channel. Thanks, UK Urban Prepper. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being with us. Yeah, UK Urban Prepper's one of our bestest friends. He's an absolute superstar. So thank you so much for... we've got rid of the line now, by the way. So thank you so very much for supporting me. This has been a long slog, and I've been running on fumes for so long. It's... you know, YouTube's really done one on me, but now we love YouTube and we love Google because it's such a wonderful place to be. Look at Blue Eyes there. Win the frozen chicken. Name the rabbi who owns... No idea. John C, we have benefit system in the UK, housing benefit for 80% rate, council tax and da-da-da. But he's still going to be getting sheets, don't forget. As I said, he's like, you know, I think 100% of that was for you, wasn't it? I think it was aimed at you. Okay, bro. Oh, dear. So, yeah, thank you to everybody, giving the love to anybody who's helping to keep the lights on and stuff. I really couldn't do without you. So, oops, I just unliked it because I liked it again. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Exactly. It sounds like he has been banned from YouTube. No, he hasn't. He hasn't been banned from YouTube. This is what I showed 2 weeks ago. I proved that. Yeah. Because you can tell by looking, and again, I did this 2 weeks ago, but we'll do it again. For those that are joining us and aren't familiar with my work before, breaking this down with the live analysis that I do for things like this, with so you can tell his channel's fine because you can go on Social Blade and you can see it tells you how much people are earning from their channel and stuff like that, right? And you can look at Funky Prepper's analytics, right? And you can see how much money he's made from each of his videos and stuff like that, right? And then you can see here, looking over the last 2 years of activity, you can see there was no videos. There was no... he lost 1,000 subscribers back in April for whatever he said back then. But apart from minus 10,000 views worth of video or videos he removed from his channel here, that's how you end up with negative video views, right? Which was way back in June. He's not removed any videos from his channel, so that said to me that he's not removed any. That means it's not a copyright strike. And when you look on the YouTube monetization checker, you can enter their stuff in, enter the code, and it will tell you if it's monetized or not, which it still is. And it says it's perceived as original, good 100%, ads are active and 100% owned by the channel, and there are no restrictions. So he's still earning money every month, residual income on his YouTube channel, always has been and continues to. So no, his YouTube was never banned. As I said 2 weeks ago, straight after this matey boy here came out and said that Funky Prepper told him that he'd been banned from YouTube until January. So that was the whole point of me coming out with a video debunking that, right? And then sure enough, when I said what was most likely based on what the deal was with, the hate speech laws in the United Kingdom, and by analysing his channel and the sort of stuff he'd been talking about, right? And again, I looked at the whole thing with the AI. I asked Perplexity, what is the strike versus banning policy? I mean, I know already, but it was just for other people so they can see if they don't believe me, despite running a media company for 15 years. Community guideline strikes, yeah, you get a first strike warning. The second strike, you get a 1 week restriction on uploading and live streaming, not anything else. If you get another strike within 90 days, it's channel termination completely. And so it's not that. And that was why I did this thing here, saying if someone, this was 2 weeks ago, look, 9 days ago it says up there, right? I asked this. If someone was arrested in the UK under hate speech or incitement laws, etc., what would be the typical process? I'm curious as there is a content creator in the UK who has gone missing from all social media platforms and claims it is due to a YouTube ban, but that wouldn't explain being completely silent on all other platforms too. Could this be a resulting bail condition that would restrict this creator from uploading or having access to social media? And basically, oh, look at that. Thank you. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. And so again, it says here what the situation is, right? If someone arrested in the UK under hate speech and incitement, typical laws, yes, indeed. Yeah, regarding bail conditions, it's possible that a content creator could be restricted from using social media as part of bail terms, right? Now, I know somebody over on TikTok who had that happen. Well, I know them, but I know of someone over on TikTok and she was a British woman who had her channel taken down. Sorry, her channel wasn't taken down, but she was arrested under incitement and hate speech laws because she was doing a lot of talking about the Palestinian situation, right? And she had the same thing. They didn't just take her equipment, they took her husband's too, which again explained why his wife seemingly hasn't been on social media either. Right, so it's just logical, critical thinking, yeah, and being rational was all it was like 2 weeks ago when I said this is what I think is more likely, and clearly it's a lie, with him saying that he had been banned from YouTube. I showed straight away within 30 seconds that was nonsense. And so as it turns out, this guy is saying that indeed he's received an email from him saying exactly that. And now wanting donations. Now I think this is the reason why, A, Matey Boy here didn't do a video on YouTube, because it would have totally gone against that Richard Vobes guy saying that he had been banned from YouTube. But now he's going to have to admit that no, in fact, he was actually arrested, just as I had said, that people pushed back on me and the funky fan lovers sending death threats to me and stuff, which just proved even more what sort of hatred this guy has incited into people if he's churning out people like that, and that's his moderators. It's amazing, right? It's like, wow. Right. And here we are. Cheers, everyone. And like I say, it was a concern of mine because he's representing, you know, it reflects badly on all of us creators here on YouTube, as specifically and particularly if you're into the prepping space, right? And I've invested a lot of time, energy and effort into my business and this brand, right? And the way that I deliver information and knowledge to people and the way that I do my videos, right? And the effort I put in. And I've only just been, thank you so much, Kenneth, for joining us. Welcome to the Wolfpack, my man. And I've only just been monetized. I've been doing this for like 15 years on this channel. For the last 3, I've been trying to build this channel, and I was only monetized 2 days ago. Literally, the super chat thing was only, I've only been able to do this for 2 days. I've been running on like my own nothing. So it hasn't been for the money, has it? Right? Do you know what I mean? This is like, it's as pure as it gets. And which is why it annoys me when people are just... So that was the whole point of me doing those videos last week, right? There's one here, look, this was the have your say. I even did one so that people could, you know, could feel like they, we could look at what was going on. By the way, do check out the Warzone Wednesday. I have linked that in the description of this one. It's a great show. We got into so much stuff. And of course, we looked at, specifically, it was drone warfare tactics we were talking about. We've broken down all the conventional, 4th dimensional, 5th dimensional, warfare, and then broke down within that every different type of warfare tactic there is, focused on the drone warfare because that's the thing hot at the moment with all the drones going on in New Jersey and UAPs, unmanned aerial phenomena and stuff like that, right? So that show was all dedicated to that, all the tech, all the different drone tech and how to prepare against it, how to survive it in World War III scenarios. So definitely check out that. I've done it as a podcast as well, so if you pop onto my channel you'll see podcasts here. There's 3 in there at the moment. Absolutely awesome, unmissable. Grid down scenario, day by day, what happens, what to expect, what hits the fan, in what order, what you need to therefore prepare for, all broken down that grid down scenario day by day series. Also got the security and protection series, another 8 episodes in there of everything you need to know for security and protection of your home and your homestead and your loved ones in the grid down or other major disaster scenario where societies collapse. And you got the Warzone Wednesday so far, 3 episodes, absolutely ram-packed full of really useful information And I talk about the how as well as the what and the where and the why. So if that feels like you're going to enjoy that, you're in the right place. But I'll tell you what, another thing we need to be doing is to getting into seeing what's going on in the world, because we need to do a global threat analysis so we can just make sure everything's all right for today, the 14th of December. Buckle up, everybody. Deep breaths. Deep breaths as we get into it. Oh, man. Cheers, everyone. Thank you. Welcome to the Global Threat Analysis with your host, Drew, here on the Single Prepper channel on the 14th of December, 2024. So we're going to have a gloss through. It's the weekend, so usually not a lot happens at the weekend. We'll have a little check over the headlines, see what Guam. Seems to be all about the South Korean MP. Impeach president over martial law attempt, yeah. I did a whole show dedicated to that and told you what my thoughts were on that. Do you know what's really interesting is I did give you the rundown as to what I thought was going on, because there seemed to be a lot of conflicts in all the places that were the linchpin states, the linchpin countries for the Russia versus NATO issue, right? So South Korea is one of them, because, you know, we need South Korean leader to be friendly to the West and unfriendly to North Korea, which is an ally of China and Russia. Yeah. And look at this. And I mentioned this the other week and I said, look out for it. And here we are in the same line of news stories. The Georgia turmoil deepens. The ex-footballer named president. Again, I told you about Georgia's a big linchpin there as well. That is really important. The West has a leader there that they can rely on, that they don't slip off into the world of Russia. And sure enough, here we are. It's all kicking off in Georgia, and they just switched some dude out in there on the fly. And then on top of that, you got the stuff going on with Assad being kicked out, so that now they're getting in there with Syria and getting their own dude into Syria that's going to be friendly to NATO and America and the West, and unfriendly to Russia, to turn things around how they've always been between Syria and Russia up until now. So it's not a coincidence that I call these things out, and then here we are, and sure enough, in the same page, we've got all three of those linchpin places in the headlines. Come on. It's not going anywhere, right? So check out the watches quickly. We've got this historical classical Lake Ausbert flood in Greenland. Other than that, we've got the 6.4 earthquake, which again is showing up here on the earthquake map here. Look, 41 earthquake, 6.4 Chile. It's a deep one-ish, 109 kilometers. It would have been feelable. I've been in a 5.7. That was quite epic. But it was very shallow and it was very near. So this is what we got down here. It doesn't look like there was any pre-quakes or anything, or aftershocks yet. So, you know, that's about all we got. 41 earthquakes on the map is not that abnormal, to be honest. And there's not been any new news here coming in from the wildfires and things going on in Malibu. So we'll check out the sun then, have a quick look, see what's going on with that. Not a lot. It's looking like it's all green, to be honest. I did have a look. We have got this flare event at M2.1, which is the 3917 sunspot. If we check out the solar disk visible, we can see here the 31917 is just turning off the western limb. With the sun, it's the reverse. So this is the western limb, not the eastern limb. So 3917 is on its way, turning out. Don't forget the sun turns around once in 28 days. So it's about 13.5 degrees per day it turns in. That 3924 is pretty much Earth facing today and tomorrow. But it looked like it's not much mixing going on. If we look at the sunspot summary, we're looking for 3924 sunspot Earth facing. 3924 does have beta gamma mixing, but it doesn't have delta. This has got beta delta, but not all three. This one's got all three, and that's why it produced that M3.2. Do you see the pattern? So that's turning out. We ain't got to worry about it. The 3924 looks like we could have some magnetic mixing that could happen, but we've got this magnetogram is unavailable, so it's difficult to read. But other than that, the sun's looking good. Ain't got much to worry about. I don't think there's much really we need to labour, to be honest. We can check out the... check out Full of Hope with the 20 foldable sheets. We're going to be getting to rollable sheets soon. This is my last super chat. I would rather YouTube didn't get that cut. I'll also go to the website instead. Much love. Thank you, Full of Hope. Do you know the alternative to still get a message coming up here and cut out the middleman, right, is you do Streamlabs. Links in description. If you do streamlabs.com/Sigma Prepper, lich 100% goes to Sigma Prepper and the cause. So thank you so much, Full of Hope. I really, really appreciate it. You've got no idea what it means to this channel. It's been struggling for years. But definitely do go and check out the Sigma Prepper website. It's a great place to check me out. It's got all the links on there that you could possibly want. This is me. When it hits the fan, don't end up around a campfire eating squirrels on sticks. So this is the Sigma Prepper website. Also, I will be updating the SHTF Intel 2024 to the 2025. I'll need to be updating this list of threats, the global threat analysis here, with all of the top threats facing humanity today, and particularly in the West. Again, a top one, totalitarianism, because that's always been the thing, but again, not much we can do about that. But it does lead somewhat to all these other things that we can do something about. So inflation, economic crisis, I've done a whole show talking about breaking down every single thing to do with the economic preparedness. Go global conflict. We're doing the Warzone Wednesdays. Don't forget to start getting an understanding of that, how we can prepare against it, how to survive World War III. I've got a whole chapter in my 350-page The Ultimate Prepping Guide by Sigma Prepper book that I've been writing for about quite a while, that's going to be launched very soon. So food shortages, again, we can do something about that. The grid down and blackouts, of course, my background in electronic and robotic engineering. I've got my own off-grid solar power system that I built here, and I've consulted with many other people building. So, you know, we talk about that as well. So all these things are things that we can protect against and do something about. And the point is to not worry about these things down here that are super unlikely, like an UFO alien invasion, a meteorite impact, pole shift and stuff like this. A zombie apocalypse is more likely. So anyway, go and check out our website. Also got survival gear. I am a product designer. As well as writing books on the topic, I design survival gear. This is my exclusive virus prediction tool, which has got its own algorithm I developed in January of 2020. That's completely 100% free. I give this stuff away because I love you. Yeah. We've also got the Ultimate Survival Hotspot, which is an offline internet system. There's only 3 left in stock at the moment, I think, or is it 4? Thank you to Adrian, who would have received his yesterday. So thank you for your order, Adrian, just before Christmas. This is basically an emergency internet system running off a Raspberry Pi computer that takes half a watt of power and can run for weeks and weeks on just a normal USB battery bank and provide internet access to things like Wikipedia, MDWiki, even things like Canadian Prepper videos are on there. Exclusive merch as well. It's all in there. Go and check it out. Really appreciate you supporting the channel and supporting what I'm trying to do, and loving the super chats. Thank you so much, Full of Hope. I really appreciate your support. You will be remembered in my will, may I say. So thank you so very much, and thank you to everyone giving the love. Big Shane in the house. Big Shane in the house. Great to see you, Big Shane. Kick your shoes off, man. Yeah, find a sofa to chill out in, or a beanbag. What else are we doing? I think we're gonna just have a quick look at... Let's have a quick look at crypto prices for those that care. Bitcoin's still keeping over that 100 bags of sand. Yeah, the rest seems to be a bit of a sea of red. But it's just a little bit of correction after the big boosts we've seen, and we're still up at $3.6 trillion. Yeah, so it's epic. So looking good. I'm just catching up with people's. Jonathan P in the house. Definitely time to get involved. Oh, sounds like the perfect dude. Sounds like the perfect dude. Look at Full of Hope. Oh, it works. It certainly does. I'll be getting about $3.76 of that, my darling. Thank you, Full of Hope. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. What a babe. Evening all. Hope everyone as well. Jonathan Hayes in the house. So why does lidocaine seem? I think magic hand has lidocaine strips. Are they the painkiller things? I'm not sure. So I'll tell you what we need. Which seem to not have got reopened with the rest. Let's have a look. You know how we do here. We like to have a good news story of the day. So today's good news story is 64-year-old woman rescued after harrowing 48 hours lost in Oregon Park. Today's good news story is from Astoria, Oregon. So a 64-year-old woman missing for 2 days in Shore Acres State Park, Oregon, was successfully rescued on Sunday afternoon thanks to a collaborative effort between the Coast Guard and ground rescue teams. The woman had become separated from her foraging party on Friday evening, prompting an immediate search. A Coast Guard helicopter equipped with a thermal sensing camera. We talked all about that on the Warzone Wednesday last week. Links in description below to watch after this video. But that's where we talked about drone warfare tactics and things like thermal, infrared, SAR, radar detection, stuff like that. So go and check that video out. It's a great one. So yeah, and again, this can be used for good as well as for war, right? Ground rescue teams resumed their efforts on Saturday with additional aerial searches. I mean, imagine being left out overnight, man. Worsening weather obscured visibility. It's bad news. The breakthrough came around 12:30 p.m. on Sunday, so she's been properly in the mix for ages, when members of the ground team heard faint shouting from a remote section of the park. After navigating through dense brush, they found the woman, who was cold, dehydrated. So yeah, now she's all good in the hood, and this is a rescue helicopter that picked her up. Look, this is them going down to get her. How exciting! Look at her. All good in the hood. That's how we like to see. So well done to the helicopter crews and the rescue crews. Yeah, couldn't do it without yous. So yeah, super duper. Thank you so very much. We like the good news stories. Yeah, it's not all doom and gloom, right? We've got nothing to be doomy and gloomy about. We're all Sigma preppers. We're all Sigma'd up, man. Yeah, we're all happy with no fear because we're all ready to go. Yeah, just roll the shutters down. Yeah. Kick back with some Kenny G, a sheepskin rug, and an open fire, a few candles. Yeah, well, it can be a romantic occasion. The apocalypse. It doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, does it? Oh dear, a lot of people go missing in Oregon, says LBR Stella. Great to see you back with us again. Thank you so much. Was she happier to see the man or the bear? Well, I don't know. If you look at, if you understand the risks of bears and things, then you have to, and knowing what to do when you encounter a bear. I've got a few videos to share with you that I like to do as well as part of this. So check this one out. This is what to do if you see a bear. That was really fast acting, man. You see how quick that bear come up out of nowhere. And they were just like, wham, 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 wham. I've seen something like that before where lots of people beeping their horns. They're just revving their motorbike engines. Jeez, look at his face, man. He meant business. Yeah, beeping their horns, right? So don't mess about with bears in the woods. Tell ya. That's probably why people go missing in Oregon, LBR Stella. Oh, man. Oh, dear. Just don't... You sound like it. I have tons of other game patches. They're good stuff. Is that what I'm thinking of then? Because she's got carpal tunnel syndrome and you put it on there. Is that the same thing? The lidocaine thing? Oh, look at all the love for Full of Hope. Look for the helping the channel survive. Thank you so much, everyone. Such a wonderful bunch. Right, so let's get out of it because we've got loads of videos to share of other things as well. So we might as well do that while we can chill out in a cafe because, you know, that's where we get to chill out with each other and, you know, do stuff like that. So don't go anywhere. Thank you. Hit the like button. Right. We can unbuckle now. Unbuckle your seatbelts, chill out, grab a chair, Yeah, next order is coming. Cheers, everyone. My tea's nearly out. So, we can't be rocking for too much longer. Thank you to everyone who's joined the Discord server. Really appreciate you. It's completely free to do so you might as well. Angry Scotsman. Isn't that a bit of a... You don't really need both those words together because it's basically the same thing. It's if you're angry, you're usually a Scotsman. If you're a Scotsman, you're usually angry. I'm only joking. I was smiling when I said it. Great to have you with us. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you joining us. Give you some Wolfpack love. Icon-ness. Like I say, it's a complete knowledge base here. The prep and intel, yeah. The prepper sources, the water storage and filtration. There's my one there with my new ultimate water filtration system using a USB powered water pump because I'm lazy. Nah, it's more of a tactical reason. Watch the video, you'll find out. All right. Protection security. I've got one here as well. I do solo stealth camping, right, and wild camping to practice bugging out simulations. And I've got things like wireless PIR systems that I take with me that run on AA, AAA batteries for like mock-up security that I strap on a couple of trees. Boom, boom. Both entrances to my bug out camp. So you got whole stuff, loads of people giving information on that. Clothing and footwear needs some activity. Health and medicine's packed. Homesteading's packed. Tools and tech is packed, right? So just get yourself in there, man. It's all categorized. You even got SHTF intel. You got breaking news. You got good news stories if you want to share some, right? It's all in there. Global conflict, yeah. It's such a massive wealth. Not to mention the Sigma Prepper products with exclusive merch now available. Links in description. Get your official mega mug, 20 ounce, no messing about. Anyway, so go and have a look, go and have a go. But what we're going to be doing later on, right, is up here after the show, we'll be in the after party where we can talk to each other voice. And we can talk about what we've been talking about tonight. Nice and freely, everyone can talk as well, and we can hear each other. We don't all talk at the same time, but we generally have different conversations that go around the room. It's a lovely place to be. It's a great way to share your knowledge. And we end up getting to all sorts of topics, helping people with all sorts of problems, whether it's a goat that doesn't seem to be well at the moment, or a chicken that they can't seem to figure out why it's not laying eggs, or whether it's an RV bug out vehicle that the battery keeps going flat on, right? There's such a bunch of different conversations we have in there. It's not even funny, and everyone loves each other. What this channel is all about is helping each other to survive and prepare in a way that is a strategic approach to preparedness. No fear, no panic. It's all about being, considered in your approach and to just think things through rationally, logically, like we've done today with what's been going on with the Funky Prepper situation, and to just be logical about cause and effect, right? Cause and effect is all it is. Because when you're making the sort of videos that Funky Prepper makes, when you're making the imagery with all the weaponry stuff that you're making, yeah, and when your obsession seems to be migration, and you're doing it all at the same time with your don't tread on me flags, your Union Jacks all over the shop and everything else, you just got to ask yourself the question, how long is it until one of them 139,000 subscribers that are following in gets radicalized, gets extremistized, and ends up doing something stupid? Now, whether that was Funky Prepper's actual what he thinks about the immigration situation is the case or not, it doesn't matter. If someone thinks that's what he thinks about it, and then at the same time on his video he's giving them all the ways and all the recommendations on what weapons to buy at the same time, come on, right? It's just not a good look, is it? Talking of not a good look, right? Those people out there that are going to be going over this next week, probably people are going to be going their office work parties. Yeah. This is when Steve from Accounts shows his true self at Christmas party. Look. Don't want to get be spanked on that one, but yeah, this is him properly rocking it. Yeah, he mean bidney. So this is when Steve from Accounts shows his true self at the Christmas party. Brilliant. Oh man, let me know if you can, if you know a Steve from Accounts at the party, right? And yeah, this is. I know a lot of people are feeling the pinch of Christmas. This has been floating around the interwebs this week. It's been quite funny. Let's just crank it.
If you can't give us some financial support, okay, please give us a credit and we will give you back money.
So this is this is asking my boss for a pay rise at Christmas party after 6 pints.
God give us some financial support. Okay, please give us a credit, and we will give you back money.
Oh, it's perfect. Thank you so much, humanity, for being so funny and giving us so much joy. We couldn't do it without you, right? We gotta just love humans. Check it out. Look, this is just genius stuff.
Maybe we should just go and by the car. The car?
No, today we will be animals.
With any luck, this could well be the day I the biggest of my career. And you will not it up.
I think you slipped the into Ginny Weasley's.
You've my cat.
No.
I wouldn't expect you to me. Who would ever ugly, miserable, moping, moaning myrtle?
To train you all up, in case you ever need to yourselves, as I myself have done on countless occasions.
Make sure that Crab and Goyle these.
Curiously, Lucius, several of them were under the impression that you would our family.
What do I do now? You wait here and try and some of this rock so we can get back through. I'll go on and Ginny. Sir, I wonder if I could that.
Oh, amazing. I mean, how creative is that? I mean, literally, all they've done is just put beeps in where there wasn't beeps before. I just love humans. I think you're all brilliant. Oh man, so yeah, thank you very much. But I'll tell you what, there's some humans that are less brilliant than other humans. I mean, this is perhaps what Funky Prepper's been experiencing. Look, check this out.
After police destroyed their home during a
No compensation for family after police destroy home. This is like a warrant for the arrest, and they went proper. Look at the state of it. This goes beyond getting maced and tased.
Circumstances should a government agency be allowed to blow up somebody's home, throw them out in the street, render them homeless, and just walk away from it in any civilized society?
Look at it.
The 17-page ruling from the U.S. 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, the judge says this is police power, which would give officers a right to use private property for the protection of public health, safety, and welfare without...
How is this not militarized, man? Check it out with their kit.
Compensation.
What happened to us is...
So it's like proper MRAPs and shit, yeah?
Third world. By any stretch of the imagination, it's completely third world.
But tell that to the man who says he's now out hundreds of thousands of dollars. Theo Lex says his homeowner's insurance paid for a lot of the damage, but still not...
Look at the state of it. This is how it's going down, right? I'm not suggesting this is what's happened to Funky Prepper, but I'm just saying that he might have been maced and tased at least. Don't tase me, bro. Right? Thank you so much, everyone. Oh. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. There's so many people in here. How rude, I'd forgotten to hit the like button. Yes, how very dare you. That is essentially, that's enough to even make the world end. Do it! Hit the like button, please. And share my videos as well is a great way. If you find a video you really like on my channel, yeah, just share it on your social medias. Super helpful, right? And I'll love you forever, and I'll remember you in my will and everything, yeah? There's loads of videos to watch. Like I say, the Warzone Wednesday, definitely get into that, because this is like, we've got another one coming up and just obviously not that long. Also, we've got our urban survival adventure coming on Monday, where I'm going to London with Sigma Prepper Jr., right? We're going to London with gang signs. We've got to try and not get maced, not get tased, not get phone snatched, right? And not get anything else for a whole day in London, right? But you're coming with me, so definitely make sure you're subscribed, because if you're not, believe me, YouTube will never let you find me again, right? No matter how much I love YouTube, I do love YouTube, and I love Google, right? They just sometimes don't love me back the way I love them. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So, I think we're going to be getting into, because it's coming up to midnight on a Saturday night here in the United Kingdom. So if you are Nelly on the land, I like Richard Vobes. He's trying his best, bless him. Bless his cotton socks. When he was banned for naughty words, Funky was the one who broke the news. Yes, I made that clear on the thing that we did talking about that. And as I said as well, I'd only seen him once before on my TikTok feed, just randomly, yeah. You know. I'm trying to do dailies full of hope. I'm trying to do dailies. It's a struggle. But I am trying to do videos daily and things. Poll results. Look how much it's changed. Thank you, my darling. I do appreciate it. 107 votes we've had rocking for the poll. Don't forget, if you just joined us, please do vote live in the poll, because we're going to be calling it in literally T-minus 30 seconds. No messing about. We can wait. We can wait. We're in a cafe after all. There's biscuits around on the tables as well. Please help yourself, everybody. Please order what you want from the bar with Sigma Prepper tab. Don't forget. Yeah. Sandy and Christine will be finished on the pool table before you know it. So if next one wants to go on. Ah, cheers. I didn't know. Yeah. And also the thing I'm talking about today, Nelly, if you've missed it, basically what's come out today was this dude basically I hate to use the word because it's just so tacky, but proving me right about what I was saying, what I thought was the thing. And sure enough, he's come out now admitting that he got an email from Funky Prepper admitting that indeed he was arrested for hate speech and blah, blah, blah. And had all his stuff seized, and the bail conditions means he can't. It's essentially exactly what I called at the time, right? Because it was just the only logical thing. And people who followed me long enough know that I don't call something unless I'm super, super sure and I've done the research. And I have to really thank again the Sigma Prepper research team behind me to help me look good. And these aren't people I pay. These are people who are passionate about making sure that we can get our message out. We can build this wolf pack safely and securely. And we can deal with trolls as they come along. And we can share the love in a way that's most efficient, most effective, and results in the most people surviving through any crisis, and not just surviving physically, but having their morals intact, having their integrity intact, and not ending up getting maced and tased and sitting in a jail cell wondering where it all went wrong. Wood is being chopped because of the storm. 75% on vote. Do you know this funny? Right, so we have had one more vote in there, so I'll assume that was the one that was missing. So we're gonna call it. Let's do the screenshot then. So we've got for our little collection now over the weeks, over the last 3. Let's jump in there to the main hangout, and here you see this is the vote. Let's get it in here. Poll results. This again is the version 3. This is the 3rd time we've done exactly the same poll, just to see how people's perceptions have changed over time. I usually like to include the link to the video as well, but this is how it ended up. In fact, no, let's go back. Let's go back to the first video I did. Oh, that was the 1,000 subscriber one, which was after, because that's when we had all the trolls coming in and threatening to kill me and my dog for revealing the truth about Funky Prepper. So when we first did this, oh, sorry, that was version 2. When we first did this, right, it came out at 46% thought that it was banned from YouTube as claimed, and only 38% of people agreed with me that my assertion was that it was more likely arrested by police and we was on bail, right? That's what made more sense. So only 38% agreed with me, but 46% thought it was banned from YouTube as claimed, right? However, when we scoot to the bottom to where we've just ended up today, now 75% of people believe that indeed he's arrested by the police. Only 6% of people now believe, as Richard Vobes had passed on from Funky Prepper, only 6% believe that story now, because I mean, to be honest, it should be 100%. It should be 100% of people now watching this after I've just shown the evidence from Funky Prepper's own words via email to this guy, right? Has been arrested and da-da-da-da, just as I said. So it should be 100%, right? But it was interesting to see how that's changed over time, right? It's interesting stuff. So, and the other question would have been, well, why did he lie first of all? Why didn't he just tell people he'd been arrested? And I told people why in the after party at the time was the fact that I suspect that he knew that the minute people find out what he's been arrested for and why, then people would have been unsubscribing from him like rats off a sinking ship, right? Because no one wants to have that heat on them. Who wants to be subscribed to someone who's just been arrested for hate speech, extremism, terrorism, or whatever else they're pinning on the guy? It's just not a good look, is it? Nobody wants to be following someone like that because it just looks bad to you. So he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly why he put the story out that he'd just been banned from YouTube, because he probably genuinely thought that in January, when he's got his court case, he was going to get away with it and he'd get all his shit back and he'd be rocking like it was nothing and he'd just carry on his blag. But that hasn't worked out for him. So again, logically, you would take from that, probably then, because otherwise he would have fed Matey Boy here the same story. He would have emailed Matey Boy here and given him the same bullshit story as he gave Richard Vobes, yeah, to say that he'd been banned from YouTube, rather than, no, he'd been arrested. Right? So now he's saying that he's been arrested, then why is the story changed? Again, because he knew if he was going to admit that that's what's happened, is people going to be ditching him, rather than supporting him and giving him money. Because don't forget, if he gets done under the Terrorism Act, anyone sending him a donation is funding terrorism. Don't forget, that's how it works. I'm not being hyperbolic here. If he gets done as a terrorist under the Terrorism Act, believe me, anyone giving him money is funding terrorism. That's how the intelligence services view it, whether you agree with that or not. And if you don't know about all this stuff, you shouldn't be making fucking videos, to be honest. Certainly not going on about the stuff he's been going on about. Ad infinitum. It's like, get over it, dude. Move on. Right? There's so many problems in the world. We're just about into World War III. We've got all sorts of issues coming down the pike, and you're worrying about shit like that you can't change, you can't do anything about. And if you think you can do something about it, well, then you think that through and what that means, and then you'll realise why he's been picked up. So he knew exactly what he was doing by pretending that he'd been banned off YouTube. But what it says to me, now he's coming out with telling this guy the truth with an email to say that he has indeed been arrested, then it would suggest to me that he's probably had some heads up now that it looks like he probably isn't going to get away with it, or maybe they have found something on his devices. And to be honest, I don't mean to judge, but if you're dealing with someone like this on first name terms who's been in prison for 27 years, yeah, the amount of people who have said that they've spoken to him or got something to do with him, who all seem to be ex-convicts. I mean, his 139,000 subscribers, there's probably about there's probably 2,000 years of jail time between them, the subscribers. And I'm not to judge all the subscribers, I'm just saying there seems to be a trend towards that. And when we had even Funky Prepper's own moderators sending me death threats and threatening to just slash the dog's throat and stuff like this, just for telling the truth. Wow. Think what these people would be prepared to do to the people that Funky Prepper's been moaning about for the last year or something. He's been going on and on and on about immigration. Come on. You ain't got to be a genius, man. So thank you to everyone who joined in with the live poll. Really appreciate you. Is Adrian in the house? Many thanks. Ultimate Hotspot received. All good. Great packaging. Thank you so much. It's lovely to hear that when somebody receives their thing. Daily Survival knows how long it takes me to put these things together. I think there's 38 separate components that make up the Sigma Prepper Ultimate Hotspot, which is the wireless internet device, which has got 256 gigabytes full of information on a Raspberry Pi that transmits on wireless, Wi-Fi. You use your smartphone, right? And you'll look on your Wi-Fi access points and it will show Sigma. And when you log into it, You got all of Wikipedia completely searchable, all 6.2 million pages. You've got 60,000 books on there. You've got all sorts of forbidden knowledge, things like SAS, survival guides, surgery books for wartime, all the way to foraging books, yeah, videos, entire crash course videos set for home education and homeschooling in a crisis for your kids and everything, right? All stored in here that takes less than half a watt and comes in a completely EMP-proof Faraday bag. Everything's thought through. Here we go, just getting my window just crashed. So anyway, thank you so very much, Adrian. I really appreciate you grabbing yourself one before Christmas. Like I said, there's only a couple left. And these aluminium heat shield plates are these are laser engraved. There's like no expense spared, right? I have to send them off to get laser engraved, and I think I've only got 4 sets left. So if you do want one, now's the time. Before Christmas, you've got limited time to get it in there. But anyway, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you all. We are going to be rocking into the live after party to get chatting. If you want to join us over there, you can do. Thank you to Spemalema, aka Emma G. What a babe. Give her some Wolfpack love. So come and join us in the after party. We'll be here. You can see the public after party. Usually it's only for the VIP Wolfpack, which is the Patreon members and the YouTube members, which I'll be launching Monday or Tuesday next week, hopefully. But that's basically where we're going to be going after. So up until Christmas time-ish, we'll be doing public after parties for those in the cheap seats. So, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed what we've talked about today. I trust the videos come across the way I intended. As I said, you know, I did write on my video of my initial analysis I did on it back 2 weeks ago, right? Which is this one here, which is the thumbnail of the go to jail Monopoly thing, right? And then my first comment here sort of highlights my position on it and why I did the video, what I think and why. And so that still stands, basically. So I'm glad that I was able to shed some light for those that weren't aware. Thank you so much for the Sigma Prepper research team who are out there daily watching my ass and making sure that this channel and this what we're here to build can be here for everybody and be as inclusive as possible to everybody, and to make sure that anybody that we introduce into this wolf pack is not gnarly, not coming in to divide, and not coming in to break things up, and not coming to disrupt, but instead everybody's here to help each other in the most loving way we can. Thank you so very much, Els Voigel, for being with us. What a darling. Be on Discord soon, says Tracy J. Just give us 5 minutes. Once you see me end, it'll be about 5 minutes and you'll see me pop up over there on Discord, so be patient. I have a little heads up we do while I'm just getting the lights turned off and things, so go and check us out over there. Yes, I totally agree. However, you will find that 99% of all the people that follow Sigma Prep are absolute awesome people. So thank you for being awesome, everybody. Couldn't do this without you. Thank you for helping me get this channel to the point where we're now monetized. Thank you to YouTube for loving me and back a little bit as much as I love you. We got Christmas coming up. I've got my urban survival adventure coming on Monday as well in just a couple of days. So on the 16th of December, I'll be doing a show tomorrow, Sunday as well, because I might even put my go bag or whatever I'll be having with me to take to London. Maybe I'll show you what I'm going to take. So yeah, me and Sigma Prepper Jr. are going to be rocking it on. I think I'll go and visit my sister who's flown to the UK from Canada. She lives in Canada. So I went to see her a couple of years ago. This time she's coming here. So we're going to go and check it out. And thank you, Pat, as well, one of our super duper VIP Patreon members. I really appreciate you all. You're such a wonderful bunch. What can I tell you? Really enjoyed today, you know. Hit the like button if you haven't done already. I've been Drew the Sigma Prepper. You've been the most wonderful people. Thank you for the super chats. And love, peace and progress to the beautiful pack.
Reject the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed. From a single lone woman to a family of 5. Learn from Sigma Prepper and see how you can thrive. We understand the risks that tomorrow could bring. We adapt and survive, it's a wolf pack thing. Protect the herd, prepare the pack. Click the like button, it's as easy as that. Check the description for the links you need. Follow my socials, subscribe to my feed.